From its initial announcement in 2013, followed by the massive amount of hype surrounding it, after the long-awaited release only seemed to garner mediocre and poor reviews, followed by the lack of communication towards disappointed and angry customers, ultimately leading to the 88% drop in active players. It begs the question, what the hell happened to No Man's Sky?
Shut up and sit down.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm doing great. P.S. It's Nate here, and I'm gonna bring up yet again the game that just won't go away, the game that everyone loves to hate. Today, we are discussing the whole situation from its meteoric rise to its duly meteoric fall, and ultimately, what led to the current position of the infamous video game, No Man's Sky. So, to set it off right, let's go back to the beginning. In 2013, a man by the name of Sean Murray, on behalf of Hello Games, set foot on stage to announce the biggest video game ever. Little did they know that No Man's Sky would become one of the most anticipated titles ever. I remember when I first heard of No Man's Sky, I was looking at the PlayStation website, and right there on the front page was a promotional ad for the game. It was clear from the start, Sony was ready to back No Man's Sky with a heavy pocketbook. Fast forward a few years to 2015, and the hype surrounding this game has grown tenfold. Sean Murray, the face of Hello Games at this point, has been at E3 many times, done countless gameplay demos and interviews all over North America. Sean was even featured as a guest on late night television, all to promote this upcoming game. Now, obviously, promotion of this scale wouldn't have been possible without the large financial backing that Sony had to offer. Which brings me up to my first point. This type of grand promotion may have been the first mistake. For a game that turned out to be very niche specific, the type of marketing targeted a very widespread audience similar to that of a AAA title, thus giving the impression that this game will appeal to all players. As far as I'm concerned, smaller financial scale marketing from either Sony cutting back or maybe even Hello Games publishing it themselves. If it were to target the specific niche they were looking for, it would have turned out to have much more positive effects for the game both critically and commercially, especially as the whole false advertisement debacle wouldn't even have occurred. Which brings up our second point. Part of the marketing in the trailer led people to believe that No Man's Sky would be an action-packed adventure survival space opera. Yeah, that's a mouthful. This is what drew people in and, rightfully so, what they were expecting. However, the final release turned out to be a survival game with a couple adventure elements and pretty lacking amount of action. Bottom line, people didn't get what they were actually paying for. And here is when everything gets even worse. Because people didn't get what they paid for, they didn't like it. This ended up in No Man's Sky having a terrible critical reception and even led to many people refunding the game. The game went from over 200,000 players down to around 1,000. Then there were even those who claimed the game was guilty of false advertisement. Well, apparently those people were heard because at the time of recording this video, Hello Games is currently under investigation on the matter, but even during all this anger, confusion, and disappointment, all people wanted from the developers was some communication. This could have been the factor that kept many players from abandoning the game altogether. Just a simple gesture to know that the devs were looking out for their customers. But alas, not one word has been uttered in 2 months. It got to the point that their own distributor, Sony, had to kind of throw No Man's Sky under the bus in order to save their own skin. Hello Games is making a major misstep in not talking to its customers. People went from being excited to angry and just not even caring. Which is probably worst of all because No Man's Sky won't even be remembered as a bad game. It will just be forgotten in time with nobody ever talking about it. And that is, truly, the saddest part. So, what the hell happened? All I can say is due to the evidence above, it appears that No Man's Sky wasn't an outright scam, nor was it a corporate lie as those experts in the comment section want you to believe. It was simply an interesting space survival game with high ambitions being helmed by a small indie team. But with the crazy amount of pressure, the incorrect marketing plan, the undelivered promised features, and lack of communication thrown in, Hello Games was simply in over their heads and it was too late to correct it. So, will No Man's Sky ever make a comeback, or is it totally deserted like 90% of the planets in the game? Is it time to say goodbye to Hello Games? Will Sean Murray ever speak again, or is he just taking his losses and his newfound wealth to a beach house in the Cayman Islands? Well, if I knew, I'd tell you, but I don't. So, let me know what you think down in the comments below. I'll be replying and hopefully we can get a good discussion going. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video so Sean Murray can see it while he tans with some nude models on his yacht. P.S. Thanks for watching and stay cool, my friends.